All right. Good morning, everyone. Getting ready to head out and start my day, but I figure I'd take a minute here to finish my hot chocolate and talk a little bit about comic books. One of the things I'm doing here is, whoops, got this on my phone so I can see a live chat if anybody pops up. But anyway, what I'm showing here is one of the ways I catalog my comics. I'm a very old school kind of guy. I still have the paper with the issue numbers on them for when I go to cons. I'll pull this side up though every now and then on my phone. Conventions, are able to let you see and have access to either Wi-Fi or your internet on your phone. Because like such as Heroes Con down in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I go down there, they are underground in a great big huge building, more or less. And a lot of times I won't even get cell signal in certain places where parts of the convention. Sometimes these conventions that I've been to have been in gigantic, buildings, a lot of metal in the roof and stuff. You can't really access it. Now, years ago, I looked around on sites. This is a very old site, and I'm pretty much still using it because of all the comics I have on here. And I don't like trying to catalog them elsewhere. But there's other places I would suggest that you go out and look around, just kind of play around, do a Google search and stuff, because a lot of places will actually track the value of your comics after you put them in there. Some places will charge, some will not. But what happened is that I started out on a different site, and what they did not tell you is that once you reached a certain limit of books, you were then told you need to start paying a subscription fee. And I started looking around. This is probably around 2010, 2011. And as I started looking around and did digging and started asking questions with other comic book collectors, I found out that that's what a lot of these places did. It was either a monthly fee or a yearly fee. And yes, there were places with a one-time fee, but at that time I didn't trust it. So probably I want to say about maybe 5 years ago, if that sounds right, maybe about 5 years ago, Tim Anderson, who is Skull Shine on this site. If you want to look him up, that's Skull Shine. But anyway, he told me about this site, and I thought it was exactly just what I needed. I just needed something to have a reference. And the format, like I said, I've seen places with better formats and stuff. But anyway, here's my profile page. I'm Howlermouse 2 on here. And yet again, I almost abandoned this site because, I was Howlermouse on here. I probably got about 100 books on here. And then all of a sudden, I could not access my account. And when I jumped on here and was looking for some kind of moderator or to find the people who run this site, they already had a red banner up that said that they had been hacked and everybody needed to get in to change their password. And I could not, I got in there, but my account was lost. So I went ahead and just soldiered on and became Howlermouse 2 on here. Now, the first thing you'll see on someone's profile is, of course, the website, their avatar picture, not a big deal. Up here, you have where it says contributions. You can contribute to this site by adding covers, details. You can edit the, when we click on a comic, which I'll do, you can edit who wrote the book, story arcs that are involved in this. And, you can put as much effort into it as you want. I have friends on here who have over 100, 400 contributions. I've put up a few images. I contributed one issue. I can click on it and find out, but I'm not really worried about it. And of course, just for, since this is a comic book themed, of course, they have little things like your favorite comic book in the collection that you can put up there. And you have a wish list, your most wanted comic book. And I actually just changed this morning and also changed this morning. And, it was kind of fun when you first start up and you're making your profile. And of course, you can add your favorite creators and your favorite characters. I have Abel, Kane, Flamebird, and Nightwing, but the Flamebird and Nightwing aren't what you think. They are actually Jimmy Olsen and Superman as Batman and Robin in Bottle City of Candor. Two Gun Kid, who I mentioned a few videos back when I talked about a little bit when I won a contest from Dr. Von Chilla, and he sent me some comics that had Two Gun Kid in them. And the reason I really like these is that If you click on these, which I'll do here in a minute, on your authors, your creators, your artists, whoever you put in here, you'll get a little profile on them, a biography, and you'll be able to access a list of comics they've contributed to. So when you get on here and you decide to do Comic Book DB, of course, you have the search bar where you can look up titles, artists and stuff, but you got to come down here and do another menu, a little drop menu here where you have to specify, are you looking for a title, a creator, a character, a member here, who also has an account on here, group, etc., story arc, story name. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it takes a minute to figure it out. Or you can click the box where it says only my collection, and then you can just browse by the same way. I've never really used the browse section, but you have titles and creators, characters. Apparently you have access to podcasts. Who knows, other members. You can see all the people who are on here. Click on it. And of course, they have different privacy settings. One of the things I like, we'll jump right over here. Let me check the chat real quick. Let me see if somebody's on here. Whoops. You got 6 watching. Okay, so basically you come on here, and this will be my collection. And they have a few features I really do like as it loads up. Okay, so here's my collection. And right off the bat, you get the number of books you have in here. Right now, I'm at 10,594. I have about roughly 3,000 books that I have not put on here. When I first started this site, what I would do is, of course, I was all ready to get in there, and I got my, important books on there, and it may have been like, I might have went through 2 long boxes. And then what I started doing is just one day a week. And if I remember right, all I did was just maybe on a Wednesday, I would pop in a movie, have my dinner, give me a little something to drink, have, relax a little bit, and go through one box at a time, loading them up. They are, of course, in alphabetical order. You can skip around on the site, so you don't have to, you search. And they're very specific in their title. So if you want to look up a title, start your collection, you need to type it in exactly as it is on the book. And there's some books that are so obscure on here, I had to go through the creator, find a list of what the creator did. We'll click on any of these here. So let's go to New Titans. So you have the 1980. This is how they categorize it. When you get in there, you need to know exactly what title you have. Open up your comic. Look at the legal stuff on the first page down at the bottom where it tells you volume, year, things like that if you're new to collecting. And this is what I have entered. And then you will see a list of the comics that you have numerically. They descend in order. Usually you would have annuals and things down here at the bottom that continue. You can view full details of this title or a cover gallery. And this is the books I have in my collection. I'm a very visual person. This usually helps. As you can see, over the years, I've bought doubles because I've always needed number 10, and for some reason, I could not get it through my head. And since we're here, Teen Titans 13, 14, and 15 with the Doom Patrol story, one of my favorite stories. Click on a book. This is the stuff that you can help edit if it's not already in here. Writers, George Perez, Mark Wolfman, pencilers, inkers, colorists, everything that's in there. This is you in my collection. Now, right here, when you add a book, you can it gives you the option in the menu to say what condition your book is. I put these books in. I'll show you how to put books in a minute, but I really don't mess with this unless the book is in very, very bad shape or it is in tip-top condition, and I'll add a note saying that's it. You can rate these books, which is very important. I'll show you that in a minute. That's just part of the fun for it. Fun of the site. And you come down here and it'll give you you can add some other things in here, story arcs, if this was part of a story arc. That's usually your crossover events or famous stories like Dark Phoenix Saga, or it'll have Inferno. Teen Titans, probably the famous one for them would be the Judas Contract. Tells you where these books are reprinted. So if you get in here and you get a trade paperback and you can't find it, when you do your search, you can actually just look at one individual issues and they'll give you a list of the reprints of the trade paperbacks and things like that. And then for people who really get into this and stuff like that, they track what characters are in each book. So you can also go to characters and click on it, and you'll see all their appearances. Okay, and some of these get multiple story issues. Usually right here, this is for anthology series, backup features, things like that. People really get into that, and you can also get detailed in those. So let's go back to my collection. One of the features I sort of like to just kind of look at every now and then, you have preferences, export, cover gallery. This will just give you pages and pages of every comic that you have in alphabetical and then numerical order. Reports and latest editions. But what I like, and then you have issues in your collection that are missing covers if you want to contribute, if you want to scan or do a Google search and upload it, you can go for it. View a list of issues in your collection in the marketplace. This will give you access to people who are selling or trading comics. I messed around with a little bit, and there was people who were trading on here. I think they used to have a forum. I don't know if it's still going on, but it will also take you to an eBay link or Amazon. View a list of issues in your collections that have not been rated. It's just how much you want to get into it. Your latest editions. What I like are these reports, just for the fun of it. I'm going to check while that's loading. I'm going to get up here, see if anybody has commented. Okay, so you come on over here and you have publisher report, read issues, unread issues, missing issues, yeah. But what I kind of like here is the publisher report. This actually makes a pie graph of your collection, and it will tell you, it will show you what publishers you have the most of or the least of in your collection. 50% of my collection is DC. What I get a kick out of here is that 8% of my collection is other. That does not fall under Image and Valiant and Aardvark and Dark Horse. So I want to assume this is like Boom Studios, IDW, First Comics, Eclipse Comics, just Valiant, the old Valiant comics, just all the dead universes out there. Defiant Comics. So I have quite a few books, considering 8% of 10,000 that's in here. That's pretty good. It really surprised me that Wizard magazine has its own little section here as a publisher. It is recognized. And that's 2% of my collection. That's a lot of Wizard magazines and half issues and 0 issues or anything they came out with. Okay, so we're going back here. And, you can mess around with this. You get on here. Then you have a wish list. These are books that you wish you had. This is how I track books that these are the holes in my collection. Right now I'm up to 723. And what I have found with this is when I've added books to my collection, most of the time it will take them out of the wish list automatically because it gets moved to my collection once you enter it. But what I've also found is that you need to double check this every now and then, because this is also how I've ended up buying doubles. It did not do that. And it is alphabetical. And like I said, this will just do exactly what your collection did. See, I'm not missing 20 issues of Exiles. So I'm going to have to go back and change some of this. It did not pull them out of. So yeah, that's one of the glitches of it. See, I can sit here and look at it already. I have 4, 6, 7. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You do have to, like I said, I have 10,000 books on this issue. I do not feel like going anywhere else. So that's the wish list. That's, what people can look at, and if you want to trade with them, you can tell them just go to your wish list. And this export button in my collections, I really like this. You can make a PDF file of your issues. Oh, is this the right place? Oh, I'm not sure what that is. Let me look again. But anyway, you can export this by issues needed. Oh, I bet it was the wish list. Excuse me. Yeah, wish list. You can export here. And what this does is you can make a PDF file that you can put in your Google Drive. And maybe it's not. Yeah. Clicking the export button below will prompt you to save the contents of your wish list to a CSV file that will be able to be viewed on the spreadsheet programs, such as Microsoft Excel. It automatically exports the title and issue number, from your wish list. And I was able to put that on my Google Drive. And that worked pretty well for a while. So there's definitely, since I've made this, I'm gonna have to double check it. There's no way I still have 723 items I'm needing. See what else we have here. I haven't really messed around with my preferences or my messages, but I think you get the idea. And there are members on here. And basically, it's, I know one person for sure that uses this, but 7,591 members on here. So if they don't have anything privatized, you can just kind of look around and see what else we got here. Yeah, this guy doesn't have anything, but you get the idea. You can play around with it, and this is just something that's just good for reference. Now, when you're adding to your collection, basically the way I do it is I'll just get a book, and let's say that I have some more Avengers books. And we'll go with, say we got the 1996. This is why you can fly through this some days, and this is why you might want to sit down dependent on it. But you come down here and you can add a batch of issues to your collection. You can also access your wish list. But I bought 1 through 12. You come up here and it shows you exactly the example here. If you have a single issue, you just put that single issue. If you have odd issues that are not in consecutive numerical order, you just put it like that and hit submit, and you'll have issues 1, 3, and 6. But let's say I have 1 through 12. Put 1, and then as you can see coming up in my menu, we'll just say I have 5. You come up and you put 1 through 5, and it'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in there. So the bigger your run, the quicker you're gonna get in there, and you go up to 100 books. Whoops. I actually have those, so I looked up. But anyway, I don't think I did double, so I'll check that. But anyway, that's just one way to catalog your comics. And like I said, go to your wish list. You can export it. You have it on your phone. You can actually get the whole website up on your phone. And this is just something that's kind of cool that'll help you if you're like at the random flea market or anything like that. Let's check the comments here. Oh, Jared, you're so funny. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy your day and enjoy your weekend. And catch you later.